Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Mark, and today we've got an exciting topic that I know so many of you care about: building real English fluency.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jessica, your co-host, and I'm thrilled to be here. Fluency is something every English learner dreams of, but it can feel confusing or even impossible sometimes. That's why today we're going to break it down step by step.
Exactly. And just to be clear, when we say fluency, we're not talking about speaking like a dictionary or sounding 100% native. We're talking about being able to express yourself naturally, confidently, and comfortably in real conversations.
Yes, whether you're at school, at work, traveling, or just chatting with friends, fluency is what helps you connect.
So stay with us for the next 30 minutes because we'll be sharing practical tips, real-life examples, and even some role plays that you can copy and practice at home.
And don't forget, this episode is part of our English Learning Podcast playlist. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of our future episodes.
All right, let's dive in and start by asking the big question. What does real fluency actually mean? All right, Jessica, let's start with the basics. People hear the word fluency all the time. But what does real fluency actually mean?
Good question, Mark. I think many learners believe fluency means speaking perfectly, without mistakes, and with a native accent. But honestly, that's not what fluency is about.
Exactly. You don't need to sound like you were born in New York or London to be fluent. Fluency is more about being able to keep the conversation going, even if you make small mistakes.
Right. For example, imagine you're in a restaurant. A fluent speaker can order food easily, maybe ask the waiter a question, and understand the reply. They don't need perfect grammar for that, they just need confidence and flow.
I love that word flow. Fluency is really about flow, the ability to keep talking, listening, and responding without getting stuck.
Exactly. Think of it this way. If you can chat with a friend, share a story, or explain your opinion in English, even with a few mistakes, you are building fluency.
And mistakes actually show you're learning. I always say, the only people who never make mistakes are the ones who never try speaking.
Yes. So if you're listening right now and you sometimes feel nervous about your accent or grammar, remember, fluency is not about being perfect. It's about being understood and being comfortable.
That's such an important point. So, to our listeners, don't measure your fluency by the number of mistakes you make. Measure it by how easily you can express yourself in real life.
Well said. And with that definition clear, I think we're ready to dive into the first big part of fluency, the mindset.
All right, Jessica. Now that we've defined what fluency really means, let's talk about something equally important: the mindset behind fluency.
Yes, because honestly, fluency starts in your mind before it shows up in your mouth. If you believe you must be perfect before speaking, you'll probably never speak.
Exactly. I've seen so many learners freeze because they're scared of making mistakes. But here's the truth. Mistakes are not a sign of failure. They're proof that you're actually using the language.
That's so true. Let's try a little demonstration. Mark, say something in English but make a small mistake on purpose.
Okay, here goes. Yesterday, I go to the park and I play football.
See? That's not perfect grammar, but I understood you immediately. The flow was there, and I can easily respond, "Oh, really? Who did you play with?"
Exactly. The conversation keeps moving forward. That's fluency. You don't need to stop, apologize, and rewind just because the verb tense wasn't perfect.
Yes, listeners, remember this: communication first, correction later. If you can get your idea across, you're doing great.
Another key part of the fluency mindset is confidence. Even if you know just 50 words, use them boldly. Don't whisper, Don't hide. Speak up, and people will respect the effort.
And confidence grows with practice. The more you speak, the less scary it feels. It's like riding a bike, wobbly at first, but smoother the more you do it.
That's such a good image. So, mindset takeaway. Focus on flow, not perfection. Accept mistakes as part of learning, and build confidence by practicing regularly.
Beautifully summed up, Mark. And speaking of practice, let's give our listeners some practical habits they can start using every day to build fluency.
So, Jessica, now that we've talked about mindset, let's get into the fun part. The daily habits that really help learners become fluent.
Yes, because fluency doesn't happen overnight, it's the result of small, consistent actions. One of my favorite habits is shadowing. That means listening to a short audio clip in English and then repeating it immediately, copying the rhythm, tone, and pronunciation.
I love shadowing too. You can use podcasts, YouTube videos, or even TV shows. Just pick a short clip, pause, and repeat. It's like practicing English with an actor or news reporter as your partner.
Exactly. Another habit I recommend is speaking to yourself. It sounds a little funny, but it works. You can describe what you're doing like, I'm making coffee right now, or I'm walking to the bus stop. This builds fluency in everyday language.
That's such a powerful one. And here's a quick tip. Set aside just 5 minutes every morning to do this. Maybe while brushing your teeth or preparing breakfast, talk to yourself in English. Over time, that adds up to hours of extra practice.
Yes. And if you want to take it a step further, try recording your voice. Then listen back. You'll notice things like pronunciation or areas where you pause too much. It's like being your own English coach.
That's brilliant. When I was learning another language, recording myself was a game changer. It helped me hear what I really sounded like, not just what I thought I sounded like.
Exactly. And here's another fun idea. Keep a short spoken journal. Instead of writing in a notebook, record a quick 1-minute audio every day about your thoughts, plans, or experiences. In a month, you'll hear your progress.
I love that. So, to recap for our listeners, shadow what you hear. Talk to yourself daily. Record your voice. Try a spoken journal.
Yes, and the key is consistency. Even 5 minutes a day can make a huge difference if you stick with it.
So true. And these habits become even more powerful when you combine them with immersion surrounding yourself with English in real life.
Perfect transition, Mark. Let's dive into how immersion helps you build real fluency.
All right? So we've talked about habits you can do alone. But Jessica, fluency also grows faster when you surround yourself with English, right?
Absolutely. That's what we call immersion. And the good news is you don't have to live in London or New York to immerse yourself in English. You can create immersion right where you are.
Yes. For example, change the language on your phone or your apps to English. Suddenly, every time you text, scroll, or check notifications, you're practicing.
That's a great one. Another idea is to fill your daily life with English input podcasts, YouTube videos, movies, or music. Even if you're just listening while cooking or commuting, your brain is soaking up the language.
And here's where it gets really fun role-play real-life situations. For instance, imagine you're at a coffee shop. Let's try it, Jessica.
Okay, let's do it.
Hi, can I have a medium latte, please?
Sure, would you like that hot or iced?
Hot, please. And could I also get a chocolate muffin?
Of course, that'll be $5.
See how simple that is? Practicing little dialogues like this makes real situations much easier.
Exactly, and you can role-play so many things, buying a train ticket, checking in at the airport, even making small talk at a party.
And if you love watching TV shows or movies in English, here's a tip. Don't just watch passively. Pause, repeat lines, and even act them out. Pretend you're part of the show.
Yes. For example, if you're watching Friends, pause when Ross says something funny, then repeat it in your own voice. It feels silly, but it really trains your fluency.
So immersion isn't just about listening. It's about engaging. Live in English as much as you can, even if it's pretend.
That's right. And of course, if you have the chance to speak with real people online or in person, grab it. Every conversation is practice.
Beautifully said. Now, of course, along the way, learners face struggles. Things like forgetting words, feeling nervous, or running out of vocabulary.
Yes, those challenges are so common. So in the next part, we'll talk about those struggles and the best solutions to overcome them.
So, Jessica, even when learners practice every day and immerse themselves, they still face challenges. Let's be honest about those struggles.
Yes, because fluency isn't a straight line, there are bumps along the way. One of the biggest struggles is fear of speaking. Learners worry about sounding silly or making mistakes.
Oh, yes, that's so common. But here's the solution. Start small. If speaking to other people feels scary, first speak to yourself. Then maybe record your voice. And once you feel comfortable, move to short conversations with friends or online partners. Step by step, the fear gets smaller.
Exactly. Another big struggle is lack of vocabulary. Learners often think, I don't know enough words, so I can't speak fluently.
Right. But the trick here is to learn phrases, not just individual words. For example, instead of just learning the word busy, learn the phrase, I'm a little busy right now. That way, you can use it instantly in real conversations.
Yes, phrases are ready-made building blocks. And the more blocks you have, the easier it is to build sentences without pausing too much.
Now, another common struggle is forgetting words in the middle of a sentence. That, oh no, what's the word moment.
Oh, I know that feeling. But here's the solution, paraphrasing. If you forget the exact word, explain it another way.
Let's demonstrate. Jessica, ask me about my weekend, and I'll pretend I forget a word.
Okay, Mark, what did you do this weekend?
Well, I went to the place where there are lots of books. What's it called?
The library?
Yes, the library. I read a really interesting book there.
Perfect example. You didn't stop, you didn't panic. You described the word until I understood. That's fluency in action.
Exactly. Fluency is not about never forgetting words. It's about keeping the conversation alive.
So, listeners, remember these 3 key struggles and solutions: fear of speaking, start small and grow your confidence, lack of vocabulary, learn phrases, not just words, forgetting words, paraphrase, and keep talking.
Yes, and when you use these strategies, you'll notice your fluency improving week by week.
Now, to make it easier, let's give our listeners a simple action plan they can follow right after this episode.
All right, we've covered mindset, habits, immersion, and solutions to common struggles. Now let's turn all of that into a simple action plan our listeners can follow.
Yes, because listening is great, but progress happens when you take action. So let's keep it simple with 3 steps.
Step 1. Practice speaking daily. Even if it's just 5 minutes, talk to yourself, shadow audio, or record a short voice note. Consistency matters more than long study sessions.
Step 2. Immerse yourself in English. Change your phone settings, watch shows with subtitles, or role-play everyday situations. Surround yourself with English so it becomes part of your daily life.
And step 3. Use strategies for struggles. Don't let fear, missing words, or lack of vocabulary stop you. Remember, start small, learn phrases, and paraphrase when you forget a word.
Beautiful. And for those who like challenges, here's a little 7-day fluency challenge. Day 1, record yourself introducing who you are. Day 2, describe your daily routine. Day 3, order food or coffee in a role play. Day 4, shadow 1 minute of a podcast or movie. Day 5, tell a short story from your life. Day 6, paraphrase 5 new words using simple English. Day 7, record a 1-minute spoken journal about your week.
That's fantastic. And if you do this challenge, you'll notice that by the end of just 1 week, your fluency feels more natural.
Yes, small daily practice creates real results. So, listeners, take this plan, adapt it to your life, and start today.
Exactly. Don't wait for perfect timing, just begin.
And remember, we're here every week with more tips, so you'll never be alone on your fluency journey.
All right, friends, that brings us to the end of today's episode on building real English fluency. We've covered a lot, from understanding what fluency really means, to building the right mindset, creating daily habits, immersing yourself, and overcoming common struggles.
Yes, and remember, fluency isn't about perfection, it's about flow, confidence, and being able to express yourself. Every time you practice, you're one step closer.
Absolutely. And if you take away just one thing from today's episode, let it be this: speak more, worry less. The more you use your English, the faster fluency will come.
Well said, Mark. And don't forget to try our 7-day fluency challenge. It's a great way to put what you've learned today into action right away.
We'd also love to hear from you. Share your fluency struggles, wins, or even your challenge progress in the comments. We read them all, and who knows, your question might inspire a future episode.
And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our English Learning Podcast playlist so you never miss an episode.
Next time, we'll be talking about another powerful skill for learners: how to think in English instead of translating. That's going to be a good one.
Oh yes, that's one of my favorite topics, so stay tuned.
Thanks so much for joining us today. Keep practicing, keep believing in yourself.